Hey guys, what's up? Nick here once again, and we're back with some xDefiant. Today we're going to be talking about one major reason why xDefiant is just leagues above the rest out there right now. And I mean in terms of first-person shooters. Without beating around the bush too much, I'm just going to jump right into it and say the number one thing that xDefiant has going for it, that it does leagues better than anything else out on the market right now, is the lack of skill-based matchmaking, aka SBMM. This has been a hot topic for the past like 4 years now with Call of Duty. If you're a part of the Call of Duty clan, such as myself, you definitely have heard about this or complained about it yourself at some way, shape, or form. SBMM has been ravaging the Call of Duty servers since 2019, since whenever Modern Warfare came out. And for some reason, skill-based matchmaking has become a mainstay with the series. No matter how much the community bitches and moans and begs Activision and Infinity Ward, Treyarch, Sledgehammer Games to remove skill-based matchmaking, they absolutely refuse to do it. And now because of this, it's become a very controversial talk between the community and also its creators. I know a lot of the devs are on Twitter and they're very active, and some of them make a lot of light jokes towards this, even though the community is very serious about not wanting skill-based matchmaking in their public matches. The issue with skill-based matchmaking, if you guys are new to this, you've never heard of it before, you don't know what it is that it essentially tries its best to create an algorithm to match you with players of your same skill level. Just hearing that on paper sounds pretty decent. It sounds like a good idea. Because why would you want to be going against people that are obviously going to destroy you every level? Or why would you want to be going against players that are basically bots and brand new to the game? It'd be unfair to them, right? And most people would probably look at that and say, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. However, when it comes to online multiplayer first-person shooters, including all the original goated Call of Duty games, such as Modern Warfare 2, COD 4, Black Ops 1, Black Ops 2, the list goes on, none of those games had skill-based matchmaking implemented into the regular public matches. Now, I know that some developers have come out of the woodwork in the past few years and said, well, I worked on Modern Warfare 2 and there was skill-based matchmaking, but you guys just didn't notice it. And if that's the case, maybe so, but it definitely was not as egregious as it is today. The difference today with skill-based matchmaking than it ever was before is that you will notice that you can play maybe 3, if you're lucky, 4 matches in a row where you might feel like you're doing okay. And this is coming from someone who's not a pro player at the games by any means. I'm not somebody who grinds these games 24/7. It's the only thing I play. I'm a very casual Call of Duty player. I just play these games because they're fun. It's my childhood and I still want to enjoy them today. But the issue is that even on my best day, like even if I spent 20 hours straight of playing Call of Duty, I still can't really get better than just maybe doing 20 kills and 15 deaths. Yes, it's a positive KD, but that's not a great game by any means. And let's just say you have 3 games in a row just like that. You go positive KD, you have like 20 kills, maybe 10 deaths, 15 deaths, whatever, but you're doing all right. The next 5 games are now going to be absolutely punishing to the point where you pretty much will never get a positive KD. You'll be lucky if you get out of there with a positive KD. The game is going to start putting you against higher players or better players because it's assuming, oh, those last 3 matches were just a little bit too easy for you because you weren't getting destroyed. And that is 100% where skill-based matchmaking becomes an issue. I understand it 1000% in an online competitive natured situation, such as ranked mode, for instance. Like if you're playing Valorant or maybe even Rocket League or something like that, that has a very dedicated ranked community who want to get better and better and better at the game, and they want to be the absolute best player in the world, then yes, skill-based matchmaking makes a lot of sense. You want to be playing with people who are the same skill level as you, and you want to be able to keep moving up in the ranks, and you're going to have to get over those challenge hurdles of playing against players who are better than you. However, that's not what Call of Duty, and especially xDefiant here, is all about. Even Battlefield, I would argue, is a part of this list, where it's not necessarily a competitive shooter. It's more of just run and gun style. It's more catered towards casuals than ever before. And you might ask, well, if that's the case, then why are they keeping skill-based matchmaking if it's scaring off the casual player? In reality, though, It doesn't. It only scares off the people who they might be considered a casual player, such as myself, but they still have decent games from time to time, and they do play pretty well because they're used to FPSs at this point. And for me, like somebody who's, I would argue, above average when it comes to my KD in normal games, it's just a pain in the ass having to sweat your balls off just to have one decent match. And then you get destroyed for the next 3 matches or the next 4 matches until the game feels bad for you, and then it puts you against bots for 1 match to make you feel better about yourself. It's just a very agonizing and repetitively redundant, annoying feature that I personally think needs to get removed or abolished entirely, unless you're playing in ranked modes. And so hopefully that gives you a little bit of better idea of why skill-based matchmaking sucks and a lot of people hate it. But of course, there's people on the other spectrum that aren't very good at these games. Maybe they just don't play many FPSs, or they're just becoming new to PC gaming, or whatever the case may be. And maybe they are getting destroyed every single game, so they want some type of algorithm to help them be better at the game and put them against players who are also just as bad as them to make them feel better. And that's honestly the biggest issue right now is we're living in a world where so many things are just catered to making everybody feel equal and everybody feel the same. There's no winner, there's no loser anymore. And I think that's honestly kind of a bad mindset to have. It's kind of toxic because it kind of puts people up to fail when they get out to the real world. And especially in games like Call of Duty, there should always be a definitive winner and a loser. There should never be everybody's the same, everybody's getting a participation trophy, and everybody has always going to have the same KD, and yada, yada, yada. You get the picture. And that's what skill-based matchmaking is trying to do. It's trying to make every single person relatively be a 1.0 KD player, which doesn't make any sense because there's always going to be little tiny differences between every player. Some of them might be greater than others. Some of them might be terrible compared to others. It just depends on the player. And now I get it. If you're one of those people out there that you just like to play Call of Duty for fun and you're not very good at the games, but you like skill-based matchmaking because it makes you feel better at the game, I get it. And that's why I think maybe you should stick with these CODs that have SBMM in them. But for me, I like playing it how it was back in the old days, where if I was doing really bad, I'm probably going to get shit on. But if I'm having a good day and I'm playing very well, I could go 10 matches in a row and do really, really great. I absolutely loved that about the games, because you never knew what you were going to get next. It was always random. And that's also what kind of leads me into xDefiant here, is they've brought back that exact same feeling, that childlike wonder of every time I get into a match, it just feels so different from the last one. It, at the moment, still has the issues of disbanding lobbies. It's been another reoccurring theme with current Call of Duties. You don't know what that means, is if you're in a match and you're doing really well, you can actually just stay in the lobby and you don't have to worry about fighting new people the next time around. Or if you create enemies or friends, you can stay with them without having to add them as a friend or whatever to do a 1v1 the next game. You can just say, hey, stay in the lobby, bro. I'll see you next game. And there you go. But not anymore. Every new Call of Duty seems to kind of disband the lobbies. So every time the match ends, everybody gets kicked and you join a new lobby. And it's to help with the algorithm for the skill-based matchmaking. Now with xDefiant at the moment, it does do the same thing apparently, where it does kick you from the lobbies. But I have noticed a lot of the same players end up in my lobbies again anyway. So I don't know if that's necessarily a glitch or what. And I've seen online, there's been rumors that it is a glitch and it's meant to not kick you from the lobby. So we'll have to see if that actually gets ironed out. But that being said, there is definitively no skill-based matchmaking in xDefiant. But I'm going to have a little asterisk with this. That's only until you reach level 25. What do I mean by that? From level 0 to level 25 of your regular player level, not your gun level, but your actual XP, you actually do get put into skill-based matchmaking because the game wants you to play against other players who are also brand new to the game, or just not playing that well in general. And it makes sense. I do understand this change. I'm not really mad about that because it makes sense that they want to put you against players that are not going to make you straight up just immediately uninstall because you're getting stomped. I totally get that. And I think every game should be that way. When you first start out, it should throw you in lobbies with other new players. You should have a good time, understand the mechanics of the game. And then once you're ready and you've unlocked enough guns and attachments and stuff to have a good time, which pretty much is like around level 25, there you go. Now the game throws you to the wolves, so to speak, and you no longer have skill-based matchmaking to worry about, and you can just go out there and ball out and have a lot of fun. The only issue I see with this is if you have friends who don't play as much as you do, and you're level 25 or above and you don't have skill-based matchmaking, you might be having better lobbies than your friends who are still new to the game, which is kind of a bummer. I don't necessarily know if it detracts or changes depending on if you're in a lobby with a friend of yours. So for instance, like I'm level 30 plus right now, and I could have my buddy join me who's like level 5. I don't necessarily know if at that point it's going to put us with skill-based matchmaking, or if it cancels it out because I'm the party leader. I don't know. Somebody maybe in the comments can tell me if that's true or not. But from what I've noticed, it seems to be that there's no skill-based matchmaking as long as somebody in your party is over level 25, which in my opinion is awesome, and I want to see more of that in future games. And yeah, it brought me right back to high school, legitimately. I'm going to be 30 this year. I know I'm getting old. But when I was in high school playing Modern Warfare 2, Black Ops 1, those were the days where I just could get home from school, jump on the PS3, put my headset on, join a lobby with some friends, and we could have a really good time. Sometimes, again, you'd get stomped 3, 5, 10 games in a row if you're having a really bad day. But other days, man, I could go 15 games in a row and be great. I'd feel awesome just on a steamroll, getting nukes and all those kill streaks and having a really great time. And I've really felt that exact same exhilarating feeling with xDefiant. There's been a couple days where I felt like I was getting wrecked like 3, 4 games in a row, kind of annoying, but I don't blame the game for that. I blame my own skill level, which is how it should be. There's just too many people these days that just genuinely complain about the game and saying it's too hard, or this is bullshit, this is dumb, nerf this, when in reality they need to take a step back and realize they just need to get better at the game. The game should not always 100% cater to the player who is just not that good. I know that might be a hard pill to swallow for a lot of people. I might get some dislikes for that saying, but it's the truth. And I'm not saying that as somebody who thinks of himself as a very good player. I genuinely am not. I'm just okay. But I also have enough self-awareness to realize I am the problem most of the time when it comes to losing fights. It's not the game. There is some other issues, though, with xDefiant, but that's not going to be what this video is about. I just wanted to talk about skill-based matchmaking here, and again, wanted to praise xDefiant for not having it once you reach level 25, and it really does change the flow of the game, and it feels so much better than the previous 5 Call of Duties, and that's just insane to say, like, just how much of a difference it makes, because it's so funny how many people who are on the side of skill-based matchmaking and saying people are complaining for nothing. It's crazy how many people there still are to this day that still believe that skill-based matchmaking isn't that big of a deal. It doesn't change that much of how the game reacts to you and how it plays. I am here to say that this is living proof that if you play xDefiant, you get past level 25, and you play 10 matches, you cannot tell me that this game does not feel like classic Call of Duty. It immediately changes how the game plays and how the enemies you go against feel. It's so damn fun. I don't want to talk your guys' ear off and ramble for another 20 minutes like I did in my previous video. I've been having a lot of fun making these xDefiant videos. I'm going to be making more, of course, coming up in the future. So if you are new to the channel, this is your first time watching my content, thank you for being here. I hope you enjoy it. And if you do, make sure to leave a like because it does truly help get the video out there in the algorithm, and subscribe so you don't miss the next one. And with that, we'll hopefully see you guys in the next one. Peace out.